Sarah Robbins, you belong here. You belong here. Sarah Robbins.
Thank you, Contest Chair. I was prepared to run my very first rec for the Winter Park Ski Patrol. The way it works is the first skier leaves from the top of the mountain, skis down to find the injured skier, uses their radio to call back up to the top of the hill to request what is needed to safely transport this skier down the hill. I was that first skier. I stepped out of the hut. The wind was blowing, and I was stoked. I started making big, fast, aggressive turns as fast as I could in my flashy new ski patrol outfit. I got all the way down to the base of Winter Park Ski Resort, and I looked around, and I realized I didn't see any injured skiers. As I turned back up behind me, there it was, 300 yards directly up the hill, a big X, 2 skis stuck in the snow, otherwise known as Universal Sign for Injured Skier. I clicked off my skis and without hesitation started hiking as fast as I could. The anticipation was building. When I reached her, I was drenched in sweat. My jacket was flapping in the wind. I assessed my patient, pulled out my radio, and prepared to make my very first call for ski patrol. 610, this is 609 Robbins. Go for 610. I have a 59-year-old female with bunion pain. I'd like to request a patroller and a sled for transport. 10-4, they're on their way. When my coworker arrived with that sled, I was sweating so badly I had to pull my goggles down so I could see. My hair is in my mouth. I'm transporting her into the sled, and as they're pulling out, just when I thought I got away with it, she looks back up at me and says, "Do you guys always come up from the bottom of the mountain?" I shot my coworker a glance that said, "She's been out here a long time. It's cold. Get her down the hill." I want to take all of you from this moment and fast forward through years of education, a degree, another degree, clinical experience, a job. Now I'm working as a nurse practitioner in a surgical practice. I see several patients throughout the day and receive many phone calls. They go something like this. "Hey, Sarah, I operated on this man's Achilles tendon 6 months ago, and he's developed a very strange gait. I don't know what to make of it. I'm referring him to you." "Sure, I'd be happy to see this patient." Click. Then for the first time in my career, I hear this little voice, this tiny internal voice inside my head saying, "They think you're better than you are. They're going to figure you out eventually." But I see this patient, and they get better. Another phone call. "Sarah, this man has upper extremity pain on the left side. I can't decipher if it's coming from their brain, their neck, or their shoulder. I'm referring them to you." "Sure, I'd be happy to see this patient." Click. There's that internal voice. "You sure fooled them. They're going to figure you out eventually. They think you're better than you are." But I see this patient, and they get better. This goes on for a while, seeing patients, receiving phone calls. Then one day I'm driving home from clinic, and I get a call from one of the surgeons I work with. I can hear the fear and panic in his voice. He operated on one of my colleagues. "Sarah, everything went fine intraoperatively. She's developed so much pain. I don't know how to treat this. Can you do me a favor? When you get home, pull up the chart, give me a call back. Hurry, tell me how you would treat this." "Sure, yeah. I'll pull up the chart as soon as I get home, give you a call." Click. As I wait for that little voice, that internal voice, I listen a little bit harder, a little bit longer, until I hear what it's really been saying. It's because you belong here. They're calling you because you belong here. I had to remember where I started. That day on ski patrol, when I completely flew by my very first patient of my career, I didn't have that internal voice. I had an ego, arrogance. I cared more about what I looked like in that flashy red brand new ski patrol outfit skiing down the mountain. I cared more about not allowing my colleagues at the top of the hill to know that I completely botched my first wreck. Fortunately for me, no one has ever died from bunion pain. Then I had to remember where I've been. In treating patients, getting experienced, I gained humility. And I had to think about where I'm at. With humility, my ego and my arrogance softened. When that happened, I became a better provider. So it was important for me to hear what that voice was really telling me. You belong here. Next time any of you hear that internal voice, and oh, by the way, if you haven't heard it yet, you will. There's external voices too. They're never as important as the internal one. When you hear that voice, whether it's parenting, starting a new job, exiting a career, or trying to achieve a goal that you've set, when you hear that voice, I want you to remember where you started, where you've been, and what you've gained, and where you are. Then I want you to listen a little bit longer, a little bit harder, until you truly hear it. I belong here. You belong here. Contest chair. Thank you.